Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and this is SuperCoach Pro. Today's video we are doing a round 21 SuperCoach preview. 3 rounds to go. Let's do this. Let's move up in the ranks. Get inside that top 1k or thereabouts would be nice. And yeah, look, the lineups look a little bit interesting. It's definitely going to affect some coaches. I'll go through it as quick as I can. Starting with the Melbourne and Collingwood game. Taylor Adams moving out potentially helps Jack Crisp's scoring, or so I hope anyway. If you could trade him or short, I probably would right now, to be honest. It's just a matter of what cash you've got left remaining to do so. There's not a lot of players at their price point that are worth it. Just quickly, in the top of my head, I'd probably go on Jake Lloyd if I wanted to sideways one of those guys and I had more than one trade. Darcy Cameron's still got the gig because Grundy isn't back this week, which is good news for Cameron owners. I'll be whipping him this weekend, and there's not too much more in here. Owens holds his spots for the St Kilda side. Ambrosius is probably a danger for the sub-vest, I assume, so I wouldn't be whipping any players with him for that C. Parrish back in probably reduces the scoring of merit. Well, so I hope as a non-merit owner anyway. Cogs back is perfect. Hopefully he bangs out a massive score from being rested, which was a bit of pain, but, you know, what do you do? Jacob Weir for cover. The people that held Hewitt or can't trade Hewitt and we're using Weir as cover. Oh, they're out of luck. So maybe people like myself actually move up in the ranks because luck has actually turned our way in a sense. Nothing to note on either of these sides, I don't think, that I can think of. No. Gibkiss named. He'll probably play the rest of the season if you're still holding him in your back line there. And Teakle also gets the game, so he's good cover. I think he'll play the rest of the season. To be honest, he's more flexible than what Sam Hayes is. Like, he actually plays forward and kicks goals and whatnot. Although Hayes kicked 2 on the weekend, but that's another story. Dan Houston named back from that concussion, so if you held, good on you. Not too much more to note. Obviously, Teakle's taken probably Georgiadis' spot. I blundered that, but it's okay. And on the Fremantle and Dogs side, nothing too much. Sam Darcy, I think he's more of a forward, so he makes his debut. Shouldn't affect English's scoring around the ground, so that'll be a big battle between English and my mate Darcy. So hopefully Sean Darcy does something. Bukamis admitted, so that hurts a lot of coaches in the back line too. So it's a bit annoying for you guys. Hopefully you got trades to get out of it if you need to. Daniel Rich back, bit of a pod, so not a lot of sides have him. Kennedy out, probably helps Cripps scoring in my opinion. I could be wrong. And yeah, the Carlton backline have been hit a little bit with Newman out there. Nothing to note in either of those guys, bar Hall is back, and for anyone that has Paul Curtis in their forward line is back in the side. Not too much there, and these guys are pretty irrelevant. Like Jai Cully has been suspended, but also done a hammy, so probably good for SuperCoach next year because we can pick him up for really cheap, and he hasn't gone up to 250k by then, which is brilliant. And Greg Clark named back in if you need a midfielder this week. So get stuck into my side specifically because that's what we came here for. I think I'm on 3 out of 4 leagues, whatever it was. Everybody be playing, so that's decent. Taranto I'm looping, probably for McRae this week. Sounds a little bit stupid, but if Taranto goes plus 110, I'm taking it, and McRae can get stuffed because I can use Carroll as a loop. Owens is there as cover too, which is nice to have this time of year. Teakle there sort of stuffs up my loop for Cameron in the ruck line, so I can use my Cameron loophole in the forward line with the Hamilton there, and then take off. I don't even know who, to be honest, here. So yeah, we'll see how Cameron goes. I'm hoping he just scores an 80. He's just more of a cover instead of a laid out cover, because I don't really like looping players because I'm always scared that the Sunday game player will be, a last minute out and then you actually get a 0 donut, and that would really suck from looping. It's happened to me once or twice before. Now, I'm just going to keep it really short and simple for me. I think you just pick players in form and players that have high ceilings. So you look at Miller's last 3 and last 5 round average of 140 and 141. He's got a really good fixture, so he's probably a VC in the next 3, maybe not Geelong, but yeah, he's gone 153, 135, 110, 157, 153. Plays in Tassie. Don't know how big the ground is in Tassie, but I think he might get the McGuinness tag. Took doesn't do well with tags, to be honest, so I could look at going VCing Mills into North Melbourne, which is very tempting because he's a bit of a pod, although he's jumped up to 24% of sides. So I'll have a think about that closer. But regardless, it's going to be C. Rory Laird against West Coast because he just doesn't drop the ton. And he's only in 20% of sides. So I think Miller is in 40-something% of size. So maybe you do take the VC on Miller because he's in a lot of size and a lot of people will be doing it because he's the early game. So maybe for ranking size, like myself, you go Miller into Laird and try not to do something too potty, especially because Mills has sort of dropped off the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks since I brought him in. Oliver's not one option I'd like to go down because of his broken thumb. And what's Neil's record, just roughly, against the Blues? He's gone 96, 142, 106. Don't love it. Mills is 130, 74, and 67 against North Melbourne, which is strange. McRae's last 3 against Freo, 129, 85, 85. Probably gets tagged by Aish, potentially. Whatever his name is from the Freo tagger. Parker doesn't like North Melbourne last time they played, 39. Don't know if that's because he copped an injury or if he played a lot forward, hence why his forward status. So that's a little bit worrying. Cripps just quickly. Yeah, don't touch Cripps against Brisbane. I mean, he does have a 194 there. But that's when Brisbane were probably really bad, which wasn't all too long ago, to be honest. Freo, Darcy would be something, but his ceiling hasn't really been there this year. English, not going to touch. Canelio, probably don't want to touch. That wasn't Canelio, that was Hawkins. Canelio is actually not a bad pod VC against Essendon. That would be kind of funny. Will Brodie, you wouldn't do it. He hasn't played Bulldogs before, which is strange. Butters against Richmond is a smoky because we do not tag and we leak points to midfielders. So that's the team going into the round. Looping Taranto and Cameron, get a free punt at it, see what happens. VCing Took into Laird. I think that's probably the safest option for myself anyway. And yeah, that's it. Look, if you guys got trades, let me know in the comments. I'll answer them as quick as I can see them. So, hopefully your side gets the win in SuperCoach finals this week. And yeah, you nailed the VC and seed, so that's going to be really important this weekend for you guys. I'd go for ceiling this week and not worry about consistency. Consistency is for the captain and ceiling for the VC. So that's it for the video. Yeah, and I'll catch you on the Sunday night preview.